is a brain with Alzheimer's disease, and you see the classic tau lesions, and these are the neurofibrillary tangles that are intracellular lesions where the tau takes an abnormal form and accumulates in the cells. And then these dystrophic neurites, which are here, they are on the end of the processes, and these swell up and accumulate hyperphosphorylated forms of tau, and they tend to circle around the amyloid plaque. In addition, you get neuropil threads. I think there's one there, which is probably a little bit of a dendrite that has some tau accumulated in it. So what is tau and why is it involved in degeneration and development of pathology? Well, tau is normally a microtubule binding protein. Here's a microtubule network, and here's the tau in blue, nicely bound to the microtubule, stabilizing the microtubule. And in the disease condition, what we see, and we don't know the reason why we see this, but what we see is a degeneration of the microtubule network. It starts to disintegrate. Tau has come off the microtubules, and it's forming aggregate out of the cytosol. So it's no longer firmly associated with microtubules, it's now free in the cytosol. And along with this, we see a redistribution of tau from the axons into the cell bodies, into the somatodendritic compartment, the cell bodies and the dendrites. And this is usually the very first indication that something's gone wrong with the cell, and it starts to form a tangle. So the tau protein is an interesting protein, and in terms of modeling it, in terms of trying to identify, trying to recreate pathology, there's a few issues with it. The human form of tau has 6 different isoforms, and they differ in 2 positions. Here, there are 3 microtubule binding domains in 3 of the isoforms, and in 3 of the isoforms there's 4 microtubule binding domains, and these tend to increase the stability of the tau in its relationship with microtubules. There's also differences here at the N-terminus, and the differences between mouse and human is that mouse only have this 4 repeat form, these 3 4-repeat isoforms, whereas humans have all 6. And this difference in isoform ratio, although it doesn't cause tauopathy in mice, it has significant implications for humans. Several of the diseases with which tau is aberrant, and there's about 30 different dementias in which tauopathy is part of the phenotype, obviously including Alzheimer's disease is one of them. In some of these diseases, you actually get a shift in this isoform ratio. You can get more 4-repeat forms in PS3 and CPD, or more 3-repeat forms in PIC. Most of them have variable contributions. In Alzheimer's disease itself, we're not sure what the impact of different ratios of the repeats are. We're not even sure if it changes the disease, but usually it's a 1-to-1 ratio in Alzheimer's disease. So quite a significant impact of these different isoform ratios. And in terms of the genetics of how this can happen, Alzheimer's disease doesn't show really any mutations in tau. Well, remember I told you it has mutations in APP can cause Alzheimer's disease, but mutations in tau have not been identified. A haplotype variant has been identified, which increases the level of all the tau forms, but we haven't seen any mutations in tau causing Alzheimer's. We have, however, seen mutations in tau causing other dementias where tangles form. And so we know it can be a primary mutant, a primary pathology-causing protein in its own right. So for the modeling, we took there's 2 different types of mouse models for the tauopathies. The first mouse model was a mutant tau mouse model, which overexpressed 4-repeat tau. But in terms of Alzheimer's disease, the best mouse model to replicate the human condition is this mouse model that I created and gave to Davis, and worked up some of the pathology. And this one takes the whole tau gene with the human tau promoter, and it's a normal wild-type gene, and it puts it into a mouse, and we put it onto the tau knockout background, and it's a very nice model, making all 6 isoforms of human wild-type mouse without mouse tau. And the phenotype is what you would like to see in a mouse model. It's a progressive phenotype, so at 6 weeks of age, you see what would be considered the normal distribution of tau. This is all axonal. You don't see any cell body or dendritic pathology. But as the mice age, you start to see a shift, a relocation of tau into the cell bodies in areas of the cortex and the hippocampus. And by 13 months of age, you've got a pretty severe accumulation of tau in areas where it was not previously located. The tangles themselves is what you would see on these models, and this is the sort of thing we're looking at when we're trying to define whether a mouse model has pathology, and then if we're giving it a therapeutic, whether it's correcting it. These are the tangles that you would see in the mouse model, and I use tangles loosely at that point. Tangles are usually poorly defined when people are talking about them. A pretangle is a form of tau where phosphorylated tau is accumulated in cell bodies like this, and you see this staining in the cell body. What you can go on to is that then a full-blown mature tangle where you get confirmation of the abnormal tau accumulating, and it can be positive with bioflavin S or a marker of a confirmational abnormality. Once it's gone to this form of tau, then you start to see by EM, you see tau in filaments. Normally it's soluble protein. But as it aggregates, it forms filaments, and they have a particular periodicity as they form these paired helical filaments if you've got a valid model of Alzheimer's tangles. That periodicity actually differs between the different
in this city, we have a relatively safe city, and just randomly start shooting.
Police are promising to answer that question. They know who the gunman is, they say, but are not revealing that information at the moment as they talk to his friends and relatives. Meanwhile, President Obama is offering his condolences to survivors and the families of the victims. Our Mark Smith is traveling with the president to Kenya and is in Nairobi, joining us live this morning.
Rita, the president was briefed on the shooting aboard Air Force One en route here, and he's told his staff to keep him up to date. As it happens, he did a pre-trip interview with the BBC in which he said gun violence is the issue that's left him the most stymied of any he's faced. Obama says with fewer than 100 Americans killed by terrorism since 9/11, but tens of thousands felled by guns, he's frustrated the nation can't seem to adopt common-sense gun laws. Rita?
The Turkish President Erdogan is confirming that Turkey has agreed to let the U.S. use the Incirlik Air Base for military operations against Islamic State militants, though he's not providing any details. And authorities say a power outage at LaGuardia's Airport Terminal C in New York is causing flight disruptions. This is AP Radio News.
The U.S. Navy's Auxiliary Security Force, or ASF, are sailors who help support base security in times of need. When sailors sign up for ASF, it's not the watches or combat training that scares them.
So it felt like my face had like a blowtorch to it. I couldn't breathe. Then my eyes felt like they had like glass and like pepper in it.
Dealing with the effects of pepper spray is something every sailor who has to carry it goes through.
No, I know it's a necessary evil. Once you've gone through this, you kind of understand what they're going through, and you kind of sympathize with them because you know how much pain it is.
And undergoing this training and feeling its effects makes them more reluctant to use it depending on the circumstances. Petty Officer Nicholas Vickery, Fleet Activities, Sasebo, Japan.
Thanks for listening to All Hands Audio. For the rest of the story, check out AH.News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In baseball, it was a battle of the top team in the National League, the St. Louis Cardinals, against the top team in the American League, the Kansas City Royals. In the end, came down to a home run.
High fly ball to right field. This was going back at the track. You can guess that was goodbye. Matt Carpenter with the home run. A two-run job, and the Cardinals now lead 4-2.
KMOX Cardinals Radio Network on the call. Matt Carpenter's two-run homer was the difference in the Cardinals' 4-3 win over the Royals. The Dodgers shut out the Mets 3-0. Clayton Kershaw gets a complete Game 3 at shutout. He now has 29 consecutive scoreless innings pitched. The Twins blanked the Angels 3-0 to snap the Angels' 7-game winning streak, while the Astros walked off with a